Hey, yo, my people, stay tuned to this video because in this video, I'm going to break down to you the 4 times I had inconveniences with paramedic and EMT students on my ambulance. And I'm also going to break down to you how I ended up kicking them off the ambulance. Check it out. So as you guys may have noticed from this channel, I'm very pro student. I feel like the best knowledge is the one you share with somebody. So I'm actively looking for ways to share with you guys the experience I acquired in the nearly 20 years of experience as a EMT in the New York City, and also what I learned throughout going through medical school. But every once in a while, you have students that come on the ambulance, that come into the hospital rotation or the hospital wards, that they make you want to pretty much get physical with them and basically hurt them. But obviously, you're not going to do that, and you have to be professional. So there's something else that as a preceptor, you're able to do, and that's kick them off the ambulance, kick them off for your rotation. And I had to do just that on numerous occasions. And I'll tell you, the first two, I did not kick them off, but it got me to the point where I really wanted to do it. The first one was an EMT from a certain area of New York, where these people, they think they're all high and mighty. Their skin is super pink all the time, and they wear sunglasses on the top of their heads, even in the nighttime. Oakley glasses, to be exact, right? If you're from New York, that description will tell you more or less where it's at. Now, this person, the reason why me and my partner wanted to kick her off the ambulance was because she was an advanced EMT, but not yet a paramedic, and she had this aura about her where she always wanted to belittle EMTs. So whenever we would have EMTs back us up, she would talk down on them. She would use them as a pedestal and basically stand on top of them. She would use them as a step stool and to bring herself up, whether it's because of low self-esteem or what it was very uncomfortable to hear her instruct EMTs to drive slower as we were driving a critical patient to the hospital. The next thing was that she was never receptive to information due to the fact that she had a little bit of experience. She thought that she knew everything. But in reality, if you would have known everything, then you would have been a paramedic already. So she needed to humble herself. So whenever we came up to her trying to correct her on any mistakes or things she could have done better, she would lash back out at us with a snappy comment. Whether it was because of the time of the month or whatever it was, this EMT student almost got kicked off the bus, but we decided not to and continued the tour and didn't pay any mind to her. The second time was because another EMT from the same area on an overnight shift in the South Bronx in a very busy ambulance came to work without an O2 key. Every time, if you're an EMT and you're going to roll on my ambulance as a student, I expect you to come in well-groomed, well-rested, looking professional, and having the things on your uniform that you need to perform your duties as a potential paramedic or as a potential EMT. And one of the most basic things is an oxygen key to open up the oxygen regulator and the oxygen tank so you can supply oxygen to your patients. I asked her, where is your O2 key? Politely. And she laughed at me. O2 key, what do I need that for? It was like a smack in the face. She almost got kicked off the bus, but my partner knew her. She was a student for a while. I was just visiting the ambulance, working per diem, as you may know already. So we ended up leaving her on the ambulance. But I was this close to kicking her off because she thought it was not a problem. And that's my partner's fault because he didn't lead her down the right path. The other 2 times that I did end up kicking these students off of the bus was with this big, tall, overweight guy, showed up to work with a big mess in his hair. His shirt was tucked out. It was messy. He didn't care. His boots weren't tied, and he didn't know anything. He did not know anything about how to open up the stair chair. He didn't know how to bring out the stretcher, and he was just basically a liability. I asked him, what do you know how to do? He's like, pretty much nothing. I went into paramedic school right after EMT school and don't have any experience. But what made it worse is that he didn't have any experience, but he didn't try to do anything about it. So at the nearest train station, after doing 1 or 2 jobs with him, I sent his ass home. Yo, get out of here, bro. You're a liability. You're not helping situations. You're actually making them worse because we have to be babysitting you. And as a preceptor, you expect to have to look after your student, but not to the point where you feel like you're walking around with a 5-year-old child who actually weighs 280 pounds. So his ass went home. The last time was, we had another instance where this EMT student or paramedic student shows up ready to graduate paramedic school, doing her last rotations. And upon treating patients, she did have better use of the equipment. She knew how to move things around. She knew what she was doing in and out of the ambulance. But when we were starting to ask her questions about theory, she had no idea. We had an SVT. She didn't know what it was. She didn't know how to read the EKG. And I kept asking her questions, and I was telling her, based on unstable vital signs, you do a cardioversion. But do you know what stable vital signs are? I just threw the question out there just to give her a softball question, and she did not know the answer. She did not know the normal blood pressure range, pulse range, and respiratory range for an adult male, for a pediatric, for any adult. I was like, is 120/80 normal? And mind you, she was about to graduate paramedic school. She did not know the answer. What paramedic school? I'd rather not say. But either way, she did not know the information. And it became to the point where I refused to sign her paperwork. That's another thing a preceptor will do to you. They will refuse to sign your paperwork. You just worked 12 hours for free and didn't even get credit for it. And worst case scenario, you get kicked off the ambulance. So in her case, I refused to sign her paperwork. Listen, I'm not giving you credit for 12 hours for something that you don't even know what's going on. If you don't know stable vital signs, it's BLS before ALS. You got to know the fundamentals before you get on to the advanced stuff. Basic life support before advanced life support. So something as simple as vital signs is something that even a lay rescuer knows. And if you're about to graduate paramedic school and you don't know that, you're not getting my credit. She started crying, got upset, slammed her stuff, and again, got off to the nearest train station, the 6th train to be exact, in the Bronx, Westchester Avenue. So I share these stories with you, my people, because as you know, I'm pro EMT student, I'm pro paramedic student, but when you show up to your rotations, understand that you are liable to go the fuck home if you're not prepared. Especially with me, I go extra hard on people, and you'll find other preceptors who do as well, because we take this job seriously. We're proud paramedics, we're proud EMTs, and this is our livelihood. Or in a lot of cases, this is what people do. This is what their mom and dad did, and now they're carrying the torch, and they take the job seriously. So if you come up to work and you laughing at the fact that you don't even have an O2 key, that's disrespectful. If you're coming into work and you're ill prepared, that's disrespectful. All right, guys, I hope this helps. And if you're interested in being my student, my paramedic student, my EMT student, just comment down below. We could try to work something out. I'll be in the Bronx. I'll be in Manhattan. I'll be in Brooklyn. Let me know. Peace.